Let's talk about the distributive property. When you've used the distributive property so far, you've gotten a question like this, and you've made a generic rectangle for it, where you go, oops, the 10 plus the 2, the 30 plus the 4. And then you filled in all of the blanks. 300, 40, 60, and 8. Then what I look for an answer was something like this. The 30 plus 4 times the 10 plus 2 equals 300 plus 40 plus 60 plus 8 equals 408. That was the distributive property that you had learned so far. But if you remember, we actually learned another part of the distributive property that very few of us have been doing. So let's bring it back, shall we? The other version of distributive property is when you pull out a common factor for those two. For example, I'm going to flip it over. Let's say the 12 times 32 is what went inside the boxes. Oops, needs to be plus, my bad. Okay, plus 32. If it's a plus, that means it goes inside the boxes, just like all of these pluses were inside the boxes. Okay? Now I can find what my multiplication problem would be by going on what's on the outside. Notice how I put it in one rectangle because there was only two numbers. I need to find a number here that goes into both of those. Remember that? So I know they're both even. Let's pick 2. 12 and 2. How's that related? 6. 2 times 6 is 12. So I'm going to put the 6 on the top. 34 divided by 2 would be 17. So distributive property can work backwards too. This would have been 2 times 6 plus 17 equals 12 plus 34 equals, what would that be? 46? So same thing, same steps, right? The only difference was instead of a multiply in between, there's a plus. And so I start kind of in the middle of the problem, right? I start by filling in the boxes and working backwards. Whereas here I started on the outside and then moved inwards. So the only difference there. Let's do one more. Okay, let's do, I don't know, 15 times 35. Sure. Plus 35. Goodness gracious. All right, and let's use the distributive property. First step, it's a plus. Put it inside the boxes. Next step, figure out what could go on the outside. I know that these both have 5 that go into it. So they both have 5s on the end. 3 times 5 would give me 15. And 7 times 5 would give me 35. So now I'll write my number sentence. 5 times 3 plus 7. And you can put this in parentheses too if you want, so it looks more normal. Equals the 15 plus 35 equals, I just ran out of room. I can put it in one big sentence. Let's see, that'd be 50. Ta-da! There's your distributive property. Your turn to try. All by yourself. Let's see. 20 plus, 16. You try. What would be the first step? Good. Put it inside the box. Now what? Would I go here? Here, I'll put letters. Here or here? What's the next spot I have to fill in? Good. We need to fill in that spot. What are my options? I could do 2. But there's another option. I could do 4. 4 times 5? Well, we'll go over this blank. Yeah. Now, how do I write that in a number sentence? Yep, I'm multiplying those 2 sides. What comes next? Oops, I ran out of room. And the answer, 36. Very nice. We're going to practice this again tomorrow, but here is a good little refresher for us.